Ahmad was a curious boy of 12. He lived in a small town nestled between rolling hills. Ahmad loved to read. He spent hours in the library, his nose buried in books. He believed knowledge was powerful. He yearned to understand the world around him. Ahmad lived with his family in a cozy house. His family was close-knit and loving. They encouraged his thirst for knowledge. They taught him to respect everyone, regardless of their differences. Ahmad, with his gentle spirit and kind heart, embodied these values. Ahmad's town was, however, divided. It was a picturesque place, with cobblestone streets and charming houses, but the division was palpable. A river flowed through the town, splitting it in two. This river, with its gentle currents and serene waters, was more than just a natural boundary. On one side lived people of different faiths. They came from various backgrounds, each bringing their own unique traditions and customs. They lived in harmony, their lives intertwined. The market was a bustling hub where people exchanged not just goods, but stories and smiles. On the other side lived those who followed the town's traditional faith. They held on to their customs with a sense of pride and reverence. The river seemed to mark more than just geography. It was a silent witness to the unspoken divide that ran deep within the community. It reflected a division in the people's hearts. The river was a mirror, showing the unspoken tensions and the longing for unity. The mosque stood tall and proud on the east bank. It was a place of solace and spiritual refuge for many. Its minaret reached for the sky, a symbol of faith and hope. It was a beacon for those seeking guidance and peace. The air resonated with the melodious call to prayer 5 times a day. This call was a reminder of the divine, echoing through the town. On the west bank stood the church, its steeple a beacon against the setting sun. The church was a sanctuary for those who gathered to worship and find comfort. The sound of hymns often drifted across the river, carried on the gentle breeze. These hymns were a testament to the faith and devotion of the people, bridging the divide if only for a moment. Despite the division, children from both sides often played together near the river. Their laughter and joy were a hopeful sign of a future where the divide might be healed. Elders from both communities would sometimes share stories of a time when the town was united. These stories were cherished memories, a reminder of what once was and what could be again. Festivals were celebrated with great fervor on both sides of the river. These celebrations were a vibrant display of the town's rich cultural tapestry. The bridge over the river was a lifeline connecting the divided town. It was a symbol of hope, a reminder that despite the differences there was always a way to come together. As the sun set over the town, casting a golden hue over the river, there was a sense of tranquility. The town, though divided, was bound by a shared history and a collective hope for a united future. Ahmad's days were filled with simple routines. He attended the town school, his mind eager to soak up new information. He loved learning about different cultures and beliefs. He believed in the power of knowledge to bridge divides. After school, Ahmad would often visit the town market. It was a bustling place full of life. He would listen intently to the vendors' stories. He learned about their hopes, their dreams, and their fears. He realized that beneath their differences, they were all connected. They were all part of the same human family. One day a change swept through the town. It was subtle at first, like a whisper carried on the wind, but soon it became impossible to ignore. The once harmonious village, known for its unity and peace, began to feel the tremors of discord. Whispers of discord replaced the usual chatter. The marketplace, once filled with laughter and friendly banter, now echoed with hushed conversations and worried glances. Neighbors who once greeted each other warmly now exchanged suspicious looks. A new pastor, Pastor William, had arrived at the church. His sermons were different. Unlike the previous pastor, who spoke of love and unity, Pastor William's words were sharp and divisive. He spoke with a fervor that captivated his audience, but his message was one of separation. They spoke of division and intolerance, sowing seeds of doubt and fear in the hearts of his congregation. He warned of outsiders and preached about the dangers of straying from tradition. His words, though passionate, left the congregation feeling uneasy and divided. Pastor William's words spread through the town like wildfire. Conversations in the marketplace, once light-hearted, now revolved around fear and suspicion. The townspeople, who had always stood together, began to form cliques, each wary of the other. The river that once seemed like a symbol of peaceful coexistence now felt like a chasm. It flowed through the heart of the village, but instead of bringing people together, it now seemed to separate them. The once tranquil waters now mirrored the growing divide within the community. Ahmad watched, his heart heavy, as the harmony he cherished began to crumble. He remembered the days when the village was a place of joy and unity, where everyone looked out for one another. Now it felt like a distant memory. He knew he had to do something. Ahmad, though young, felt a deep sense of responsibility. He couldn't stand by and watch his beloved village tear itself apart. He resolved to take action, to find a way to heal the rift that had formed. He had to find a way to bridge the growing divide. Ahmad began to reach out to different communities within the village, speaking to elders and children alike. He listened to their fears and concerns, and he shared his vision of a united village. He stood on the bridge that spanned the river, a symbol of his determination to reconnect the divided hearts of his people. Section 5. The Pastor's Challenge. One Sunday, Pastor William issued a challenge. He stood at the pulpit, his voice echoing through the hallowed halls of the church. His eyes scanned the faces of his congregation, filled with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. He invited anyone who disagreed with his teachings to meet him in the town square. The announcement sent ripples through the community, sparking conversations and debates among the townsfolk. He vowed to prove the righteousness of his words. His conviction was unwavering, and he believed that through open dialogue, the truth would prevail. Ahmad knew he had to answer this call. The young boy, known for his inquisitive nature and sharp mind, felt a stirring in his heart. Ahmad, despite his young age, possessed a wisdom beyond his years. He often pondered the deeper questions of life, seeking understanding and clarity. He approached Pastor William in the town square, his head held high. He was not afraid. The crowd parted as he walked, their eyes following his every step. He believed in the power of dialogue, in the power of understanding. Ahmad knew that true wisdom came from listening as much as speaking. He knew that fear could only be conquered with knowledge and compassion. As he stood before Pastor William, he felt a sense of calm wash over him. This was his moment to bridge the gap between generations, to show that even the youngest among them could contribute to the greater good. The conversation between Pastor William and Ahmad was intense yet respectful. They exchanged ideas, challenged each other's beliefs, and sought common ground. The crowd watched in awe, witnessing a rare moment of genuine understanding and mutual respect. As the dialogue continued, the townsfolk began to see the value in open communication. They realized that differences in opinion did not have to lead to conflict, but could instead foster growth and unity. By the end of the day, Pastor William and Ahmad had not only deepened their own understanding, but had also inspired the entire community. The challenge had transformed into an opportunity for collective enlightenment. As the sun set over the town square, the people dispersed with a renewed sense of purpose and harmony. The pastor's challenge had become a testament to the power of dialogue, compassion, and the unyielding quest for truth. The crowd watched with bated breath as Ahmad, a young boy, stood before the imposing figure of Pastor William. The pastor, with a condescending smile, asked Ahmad, "Young man, do you believe in the word of God?" "I do," replied Ahmad, his voice clear and steady, "and I believe God desires us to live together in peace and harmony, to understand and respect each other's differences." Pastor William, taken aback by the boy's composure, continued his questioning, trying to find flaws in Ahmad's faith. Ahmad calmly answered each question. He used his knowledge and wisdom to build bridges of understanding. He spoke of the common ground shared by all religions: love, compassion, and respect. He reminded everyone that they were all children of the same God. Ahmad's words resonated through the square. The crowd listened intently, their hearts touched by his simple yet profound message. The tension that had gripped the town began to dissipate. People started to see each other not through the lens of fear and suspicion, but through the prism of shared humanity. Pastor William, moved by Ahmad's words and the reaction of the townspeople, began to question his own beliefs. He realized that his message of division was wrong. He saw the power of unity and love reflected in the eyes of the young boy. That day, A 12-year-old boy taught an entire town the true meaning of faith. He showed them that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. He proved that knowledge is not just about facts and figures. It is about understanding, empathy, and love. The story of Ahmad is a testament to the power of one. It shows us that even a child can make a difference. It reminds us that the greatest weapon against hatred and prejudice is understanding and compassion. Ahmad's story is a beacon of hope, illuminating the path towards a more united and peaceful world.